Thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Northeast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. We've got a mostly quiet next 5 to 6 days to talk about here across the Northeast region and really a big portion of the central and eastern United States. We've got some winter weather making its way across portions of the mid-Atlantic. We've got this big yellow shading is actually a child abduction emergency in portions of Texas, so scary but not weather-related right there. But elsewhere across the western, central, and eastern U.S., looking at mostly quiet conditions as we end the week and head into the weekend. That, of course, because of an area of high pressure that's slowly making its way across portions of the central U.S., keeping things quiet. A sunny start to the day for many, again, from the northeast region all the way into the southwest. Really, this entire region can be carved out looking at a sunny start to the day. A dry start to the day as well, obviously, with the lack of cloud cover. Again, the only precipitation making its way off the coast of North Carolina right now as we get started on Friday morning. Otherwise, looking at dry conditions across the continental U.S. As we go ahead and take a look at the mid-level water vapor, I want to show you the flow of the jet stream right now. You can see the ridge that's making its way across the central U.S. right now, bringing in the quieter conditions. The trough that's departing right now with the storm system that brought the winter weather to portions of the mid-Atlantic. But we've also got our next trough beginning to emerge across the far southwest. You can see these strong jet stream winds beginning to push moisture back into the region. The yellow shading you're seeing here, a big corridor of drier mid-level air associated with that area of high pressure associated with that ridge. But this is the next wave that we'll be watching here that moves into parts of the central U.S. Monday and then begins to move into the northeast region mid to late next week. Look at our temperatures as we get the day started. A big area of very cold temperatures across portions of the northeast into the Great Lakes. Temperatures in the teens and the single digits. Even cooler here across portions of the northern regions of the northeast region here where we've got some snow on the ground and those higher elevations. As we look at the 24-hour temperature change, again, a big cool down across this region, portions of the southern plains into the mid-Atlantic. Already starting to warm up, though, on the backside. And again, that makes sense. If I draw the area of high pressure across the central U.S., talk about the clockwise flow around that, bringing in cooler temperatures from the north and from the east. But on the backside, the north and the west side, the temperatures coming in, or the winds coming in from the southwest, starting to bring that warmer air back in from the west. So 24-hour temperature change reflects that area of high pressure sliding in, and we'll start to warm up across the northeast region as we head into the end of the week and the weekend as well. As we look at the precipitation forecast from the high-resolution NAM model, keeping things quiet and dry north and east of this line as we head through the entire weekend. It's as we start to head to the last part of the weekend, we start to see our storm systems begin to move in because we have two waves we're watching. Again, the first one from the southwest, the second one comes in from the northwest on Tuesday and Wednesday. And we'll have to move over to the longer-range European model to talk about that interaction as it heads into mid to late next week. Now we'll start by looking at the 500 millibar height pattern, watching first the ridge move into the region. That allows warmer temperatures to return to the central and eastern U.S. And then here come our two storm systems. The first one from the southwest on Monday. The next one begins dropping in on Tuesday and Wednesday. And it's the interaction between these two across the central U.S. that's going to determine our impacts here further downstream across the northeast region. As we look at the response at the surface, again, a lot of dry air across the region as we get things started with that area of high pressure parked across the central U.S. The cold front right now taking that moisture with it across portions of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, as we head into Friday and Saturday, we're already seeing the response on the backside of that area of high pressure, moisture beginning to advect back northward across the central U.S. And again, this is also part of the response to the approaching short wave within the jet stream. Those strong jet stream winds begin pushing in from the southwest, and that draws moisture northward into the Ohio River Valley, bringing a rainy start to the week across the central and eastern Corn Belt. This first wave lifts into the northeast region late Monday into Tuesday, and then here's the second wave coming in on the backside now. You see the flow around that one. That is what becomes the primary trouble wave across the northeast region, perhaps bringing a winter storm to the northeast region here Thursday into Friday. As we take a look at the precipitation forecast now, this will tell things in a little more intuitive form. Again, starting off with a dry weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, dry across the northeast region, dry into the day on Monday as well. It's not until Monday night, Tuesday morning, we Start to see some of that rain working its way into Pennsylvania and New York, moving in across the region from southwest to northeast. Light rain overspreading much of the region by Tuesday morning. As we head into Wednesday and Thursday now that second wave comes in, you see that area of low pressure begin to develop across the Ohio River Valley. I'll flip my color over to red here. That area of low pressure then begins to deepen, intensify rather rapidly Wednesday into Thursday as it swings into the northeast region. Now, we've got low confidence how the evolution begins here across the central U.S. if we go all the way back to Tuesday night into Wednesday. Where exactly that area of low pressure forms, how exactly the rapid intensification transpires, and the track of that area of low pressure is going to make a big difference in the impacts across the northeast region. Right now, though, it does look as if the period from late Wednesday into Thursday and Friday could be extremely unsettled across the northeast region. We'll talk about details as we get into next week. Just letting you know that right now the next 7 days or the next 5 days at least, look absolutely gorgeous across the northeast region. It's trouble as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. Total precipitation over the next week, taken into Friday morning. Again, we see the potential for several inches of rain or precipitation across the northeast region. Some of that likely to fall in the form of some snow. As we look at the probabilities from the European in the GFS model, the European on the left, GFS model over here on the right, we're looking at the probability of greater than 3 inches of snow accumulating all the way through next Friday. Again, we see that highest corridor on both models here from portions of the Midwest, portions of Iowa into Wisconsin and Michigan, and then across northern portions of the northeast region here, portions of northern Pennsylvania, New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine, seeing the highest probability for some accumulating snow. And of course, elsewhere across the northeast region, we're talking about, at the very least, some very windy and rainy conditions as we head into midweek. So we'll have to watch the evolution of this one very closely as we head into early next week. Again, looking at the wind gust forecast from the north, the European model is what I'm trying to say. We see those winds really begin to ramp up Wednesday into Thursday, and then even into the day on Friday on the backside here. Wind gusts 40 to 60 miles per hour are going to be on the table as we get into mid to late next week, accompanying the storm system as it makes its way through. Now we'll look at the temperature forecast. We're looking at temperature anomalies across North America as we head over the next 7 days. Again, starting off with this cooler air mass extending back into portions of the southern plains. Starting to warm up, though, as we head into the weekend and early next week. What I want you to watch, though, is as we start to displace some warmer air northward across Alaska. That's where that colder air will then begin to spill back into the central and eastern U.S. as we head into mid to late next week, finishing out the month of February and beginning the month of March on a bit of a cooler note across portions of the central and the northeastern U.S. A look at your high temperatures for the next several days, in the teens across the north to the mid-30s across portions of Pennsylvania and Maryland for the day on today, warming up into the upper 30s to the mid-50s for the day on Saturday, warming up more Sunday into Monday even. Everyone with highs in the 40s and 50s to near 60 degrees across the south on Monday. Look at those Tuesday temperatures, and then we'll start to cool off as we head into the end of next week on the backside of that storm system. Your overnight lows tomorrow morning in the single digits to the north to the mid-20s to the south, warming up as we head into Sunday and Monday. Those lows again in the mid-40s on Tuesday across portions of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. This is when that storm system will be making its way through. Cooler temperatures coming in on the backside as we end next week. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful weekend.